And she didn't tell anyone, but she thought it was awfully funny. And was terribly interested. She loved children. And I got a perfectly lovely little bouquet from her in the hospital when Melissa was born. And I thought it was awfully sweet of her, because I didn't know Barbara really that well. I knew her, and yet I didn't. So then, 2 years later, I just had Mantana. So the next thing I knew, she knew also about Katrina, my oldest girl. We talked very intimately about the children. And she ordered 3 of the most beautiful gold St. Christopher medals for each child, with their names on the back from her, in her handwriting. But the impulse behind it is something so charming and really so touching that she is, and always will be, extremely special to our whole family.
Well, now we're in the gun room of the Big Valley set while they're lighting up the living room for the next sequence, so we can continue our conversation.
Okay.
We were talking about the American Indian and your involvement with them. You were adopted by a tribe of Indians, weren't you?
The Blackfeet tribe in Mantana.
In Montana?
Yes.
Was that while you were on location making a film?
Yes, I was making a film up there, and they were part and parcel of the story.
Yes.
So they very nicely adopted me, and I was very, very proud of it.
And then didn't they put you through some special ceremonial part? You were a brave dog? Or?
Well, I'm a brave dog, and that's rather rare for a woman. That's the braves that adopt you, not only the tribe, but it is the braves, it's the men who are braves themselves.
Yes.
And you get the big eagle feather with the claw on it. Now, it sounds terrible, but it's quite beautiful.
Did you have
That is what they give you when you are a brave dog.
What is your Indian name now?
Princess Many Victories III.
From Ruby Stevens to Princess Many Victories
Yes.
III. Now, did you have to prepare in any special way for
No,
to
they
be
were
adopted?
rather impressed with the fact that I did all my stunts, and this impressed the Indians, the men.
Well, no, that is only one of so many awards that you won. You had, for example, 4 Academy nominations.
Nominations, I didn't win anything.
No, but to me, a nomination is just as important as
Well,
an
it is
award.
very
After
nice.
that's a horse race.
Yeah.
Let's see, those films, there was Stella Dallas.
Yeah.
Is every time
What do you mean? Because there was a couple of drinks? Well, what's wrong with that? Take her away from me. Give it to me. Give it to me, I say.
He wants to do this.
Give it to me. Look at your hurting. You're here with Mommy, and nobody in the whole world is ever going to take you away.
There was Devil Indemnity.
Yes.
And
Ball of Fire.
Ball of Fire. What are you going to do?
Come here. I'm going to show you what yum yum is. Here's yum. Here's the other yum. And here's yum yum.
Excuse me. And the solo job on the telephone.
Sorry, wrong number.
Sorry, wrong number, in which you built up your terror increasingly through the film. Was that very difficult to do from day to day?
It was difficult from day to day, but I was very, very lucky. Anatole Litvak was the director, and a very fine director, and a marvelous person to work for. And I had 12 days of the terror in the bed. And he very kindly, which, as you know, being a director yourself, makes it difficult for a director to do, he very kindly and graciously asked me, did I want to do those 12 days all at once, or spread them in between continuity? And when I thought it over, I thought, it would be better if I could do the 12 days at once, so that I myself might have continuity.
Right.
And he very graciously did. He very graciously fixed his schedule as such, and I did 12 days, consistently.
But now, in addition to those 4 nominations, you won a couple of Emmys
Yes.
for this series, The Big Valley. Of all the awards you had, what was the one that gave you the greatest pride?
I think, I am very proud of all of them, don't misunderstand it, but I think the one was the Screen Actors Guild, the Humanitarian Award, because I really never expected that.
I wasn't there. I read about it, and I was thrilled about it.
I thought I was giving it to Ronnie Reagan.
I know. thought it was going to be for the then governor-elect.
Yes, I thought I was giving it to honorary. That was before he was governor.
Yes.
30 days ago. I thought they were honoring him, so I went up there thinking that this is what I was going to do. And I found out I was being given it. I was very proud of that.
And what exactly does that award say?
That's just exactly what it entails, a humanitarian award for what you do for other people.
And that was to cover a number of years in the industry, not just one thing
no, that must cover a good 15, 20 years.
Well, we've talked about Ruby Stevens and how you got the name of Barbara Stanwyck and how you got your Indian name. There's one other name that we see on the back of your chair and on your bicycle around the lot here. Missy.
Yes.
That seems to be a very affectionate term for the cast and the crew to call you.
Yes.
How did that name derive?
Well, I have a Negro maid. She's been with me 30 years, and she's not a maid, she's a friend.
Right.
And years ago when she first came to work for me in 1938 or 9, she started calling me Missy. And the crews gradually picked it up, and so did my family.
When I first started working for Miss Stanwyck, I never seemed to be able to get her full name out when I wanted to ask her something, like Miss Stanwyck this or Miss Stanwyck that, and she cut me off. So it finally wound up that I could just get Missy out, and after a few weeks of that, she got so she liked the name and just sort of adopted it. And she's had dogs and boats and everything else named after her, with the name Missy.
You enjoy the name?
Very much so.
It's less formal than Miss Stanwyck.
Yes.
And not as informal as Barbara.
Yeah, I like it very much because she gave it to me, and I love her.
I have to explain something to the audience. When they hear an automobile horn like that, the camera is ready.
That's the camera honking. It's calling the cattle to work.
So I must excuse the prize exhibit here. Thank you very much. We'll be back to talk.
All right.
Barbara Stanwyck, in my book, has to be the top gal on the totem pole. Now this goes for everything, but let's face it, theatrically, she has no equal, believe me. Now this might sound exaggerated, but it isn't at all. And Barbara has so many facets to her character. Well, first of all, when speaking of acting, every actor who has ever had the privilege of playing with her, as I have had, I did a picture with her some years ago called Gambling Lady, but everyone has the same analysis, the same observation, and the same affection for this wonderful girl. And the great barometer is the crew. And every crew that has ever had the great privilege of working with Missy, as they call her, with Barb, as I call her, I think that they would go on, well, on one premise. May we never run out of incense to burn at her shrine. That's what I think. Oh, don't make it look too see as much to your left as you can. So
Yeah.
Roll it, please, Don.
103, take 2, say.
All right. Now, wait a minute, well, none of that.
All right, boys, all right. Now, you listen to me. We're a family. Mistakes or not, we stand together. Now, I suggest we all go to bed and get a good rest. We'll discuss it in the morning when we come.
You're right. I'm sorry, but I guess I got carried away. I guess we both did. What's your name? My wife.
Gloria, last thing in the world I want to do is cause any bitterness between your sons. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Richard Long is one of the co-stars with Barbara Stanwyck on the television series The Big Valley, and I think we should have his comments on what it is to work with her.
Well, you know, Ralph, as we travel around the country from town to town, we get asked that question a great deal. And the fact that it's asked so often kind of speaks for itself, in a way. Because when you have a star of Barbara's proportion that has stayed a major star for as long as she has and for as deservedly as she has, you're dealing with quite a human being. Because as you well know, that's not easy to do.